then, hobbyists. I've had the Ian Jury and the Blockhead's Wild One for a while now. It runs really well on grass, although it can be a little bit jumpy. It also runs well on sand, and with the BZ motor, it's pretty fast. The issue is though, when you pull the trigger all the way, the power seems to come in waves. At first, this was put down to the fact it had a brand new BZ motor in it, and it needed to be run in for a bit. But the new thought is, maybe it's the Tamiya ESC. It did come with a Carson one, but I chose to swap this for the TBLE04 that I had hanging around. In the realms of giving everything a fair go, today we will be running this again with the Tamiya TBLE04. Not through laziness, but because if it was linked to the motor needing time to adjust to being used, well, it's now had plenty of time. So, in some ways, it's now or never. If it does play up this time, I will do the old switcheroony and swap the ESC, just with the one it came with. Apart from the power element, I do not have many issues with this Wild One. It does seem pretty responsive, and it's lightweight. Maybe though this is a disadvantage, as the nose always wants to seem to lift up at speed. This then makes this harder to control, so it might be a thought to weight it slightly at the nose, but maybe this will take away from part of its charm. It is meant to be a wild one after all. Recently I have seen some images of someone making a 1:1 scale Wild One, and this does look impressive. I wonder if Jun Wannabe will buy one to turn it into a Blockheads project. I doubt it though. He's probably moved on project-wise now and is too busy making a Blockhead dancing rider or some other monstrosity. Anyway, let's see how this Wild One gets on with a harder surface for it to run on. Will it still be as nippy, or will it not like this ground? Being a mix of hard and loose, who knows? Let's find out now. Here it is, fresh from the field. Well, car park. And I do say fresh, meaning about a week or so ago. But anyway, all in all, it seemed to do a rather good job, and we even kept the little flag which we thought was lost, but it just slipped down. You can see that cable management is still a mystery to me. I know there's supposed to be some little compartment area, nook, that this can be tucked into, but it doesn't affect it too much. One area of concern that I did have with this type of surface was the rubber on the tyres holding out. With having to run on the mix of tarmac and loose gravel, it was very abrasive, especially for this type of tyre, as it does whiz around and slide quite easily. I know I could look at getting a second set of tyres for this, but I might as well just wear these ones down, because firstly, I don't have some sort of sponsorship deal with Dunlop as yet, and secondly, I'm not doing anything competitive with it, it's just a bit of fun. Now, in every life, a little rain must fall. The eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed there does seem to be something wrong with the pin on the right-hand side. This is to hold the front wheel in place. During one of our very impressive power slides, which we always seem to miss on camera, the front end collapsed. Luckily, this wasn't as big a disaster as it first could have been, mainly because the pin hadn't fully come out of it at this point, and the chief engineer was able to swoop in with his needle-nose pliers to save the day. As you can see, it's worked its way loose once again. What it could do with at this point is the grub screw being replaced maybe, and a little bit of Loctite to be put on there, just so it doesn't shake itself loose again, but I think that this might be a slight design flaw with this model. All that being said, I do think that this is my favourite two-wheel drive buggy that I own. Technically, it's the only two-wheel drive buggy that I own, as I don't have a Grasshopper or a Hornet or something similar, but I would still say it's my favourite. Anyway, enough of this. How about some outtakes? So you don't miss out on further videos and similar nonsense, please like, feel free to comment, definitely subscribe, and press that bell-shaped thingy to be woken up at all hours for further content. But for now, that's your lot.